Alright guys, I think it's about time we had a little chat. Today I want to talk about, well, I'm not really sure what it really is about. I guess it's about veganism, but you know, you could extend it to other forms of social justice. So it seems that lately more and more people have been telling me that, you know, I'm radical and I'm an extremist and I'm kind of violent in the way I talk about veganism. And it always sort of amazes me and kind of leaves me a bit speechless, because I don't consider myself a violent person, but as someone who's always very willing to, you know, self-criticize and just reflect on the way I do things and just the way I behave, I have to say, I have to admit, you know, when it became something that was coming up a lot more and a lot more frequently, I did, you know, check up with myself. I was like, okay, what exactly did I say? What exactly did I do? What kind of videos did I make? What kind of action and what kind of activism do I do, and how does it affect the people around me? And so I really questioned, you know, myself and my positioning. And I have to say I completely disagree. And it's not because I don't want to be wrong, you know, honestly, I don't even think of myself. All I want to think of and all I really want to fight for are animals. So if really I had come to the conclusion that yes, what I'm doing is not really efficient because friends of mine are not turning vegetarian or vegan, because people I encounter daily are not receptive, because online I don't get messages from people telling me they went vegan or vegetarian, because I can't have a discussion with people, yes, I would have changed my approach, definitely. But the result that I see is completely different. Obviously, I have those people that tell me you're intolerant, you're extreme, you're violent, and you're scornful, and just hearing you talk doesn't make me want to go vegan. But we have also to be honest and realize that those people just don't want to go vegan in the first place. I always say that, it's a quite paradoxical, but I really think, and I'm pretty sure it's accurate, that among the people, you know, that are very much close to the idea or opposed to the idea of veganism, there are two main categories. Where is my phone? There are the people that, you know, are that close to go vegan but are still really attached to the idea of eating animals, and therefore they're very opposed and very like, what are you talking about? What are you accusing me of? Because they don't want this change to finally happen, and they're super sensitive about it. And there are the people that just don't want to think of it and don't want to even accept the fact that you could be telling them, here are the facts. And so the real question is, do I want to change the way I do things, which is, by the way, effective, seeing that my friends are vegetarian or vegan, my family is vegetarian or vegan. I receive messages daily from people telling me, you know, that they heard me. For them it's difficult, for some it's difficult, for some it's really easy, some, you know, immediately go vegan, some are like, I'm really going to look into this. Daily I get messages like that, and I've been doing it for years. So should I change this method that's first of all affecting, second of all, using real facts, real data, and third of all, which I think is the way we should go about social justice, which is to be more active and stop being that passive. Just for the sake of some people that anyway won't go vegan. And the only reason why those people are like happy when they meet nice vegans, as they say, is because those vegans are not gonna confront them. They're not gonna make them change. So they're completely happy. And then they say, oh, I like those vegans because you can have a discussion with them. No, that's not true. You have to be honest right here. You like those vegans because they're not presenting you facts. They're not confronting you. They're not making you face the reality of your actions. That's why you like those vegans. And that's not because of the fact that other vegans are extreme. It's just because other vegans are not sugarcoating it for you. They're not giving you excuses. They're not making you feel comfortable about what you're doing. But we should not make you feel comfortable about what you're doing. And it's the same for everything. If you're doing something that's wrong, because it's ethically questionable, because it's environmentally questionable, because it's socially questionable, why should I make you feel comfortable? Like, why should I fucking make you feel comfortable? And even among and within the vegan community, I think there is this thing where some vegans are so happy to be the nice vegans. But you should not be happy of that. Like, it's not about being nice. It's not about being nice. It's about being respectful. But it's also about being coherent, logical beings. And about being just, honest. If you're a vegan, you think that eating animals is wrong. So don't go around saying, I don't judge you for eating animals. I don't think there's anything wrong with you eating animals. La 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 la. That's not true. That's not true. It's fucking not true. If you have decided for yourself to stop eating animals, it's because you have come to the conclusion that it is not a right thing to do. So don't go around saying that you don't care what other people eat. That's not true. That simply isn't. You might want to say, yeah, I don't want to engage in this debate, in this discussion. That's fine. That's your right. But at least be honest and don't try to make other vegans who are more willing to get some backlash appear in a bad light. And also I just want to say to people who are like, I just show people what I eat and it looks good and it looks fine and it looks healthy and appetizing. Those people are not gonna go vegan just because your food looks good. It's like, those people might want to incorporate some vegan food in their diet. But no one goes vegan just because the food looks good. Because vegan is not about food. Even if you don't want to go as far as saying that veganism is a political movement, which it is, veganism is about the products that you buy when it comes to cleaning, when it comes to cosmetics, when it comes to, corporal hygiene. It's about your clothes. It's about exploitation of animals in any way. So it's not only because of the food that people are going to go vegan. If it's the food, they're going to go plant-based, perhaps, to the most. But what's going to make them go vegan is the realization, be it environmental or ethical, that something's wrong with eating animals. And it does not happen just because suddenly you realize it's wrong. It always happens for everyone with something that's shocking. And shocking is different for people. It could be this level for me, it could be this level for you, it could be this level for someone else. But you know why I am ultimately somehow sharing a violent message when I talk about veganism? Because facts are violent. I am not the one who chooses to have a violent speech. I am not the one who chooses to have violent imagery, facts, data, numbers, or words. I'm just telling you the facts like they are. When I'm saying you're eating a dead animal, people think it's super extreme and, super violent, and I'm like blaming people. Yes, I'm blaming you, but I'm just saying what is the reality of what's happening. You're eating a dead animal. It's not my fault. And you know what? It hurts me a lot more to have to say this than it probably hurts you because you apparently don't give a fucking shit about it. So it's always going to be violent because the facts are violent, because this industry is violent, because the exploitation of animals or of any living being is violent. So when I'm sharing with you facts without sugarcoating it, without hiding it, without disguising it to make you feel comfortable, yes, it's gonna sound violent. Yes, it's gonna make you feel uncomfortable, but that's because you're a fucking human being with compassion, a heart, and a brain. So you should use and take this opportunity to change and not defend yourself and be like, that's too extreme, that's too radical, why are you attacking me? I'm not attacking you, I'm presenting you the facts. You should be aware of it because you're the one who's doing it. I'm not the one who's doing it. You're the one who's doing it, so be fucking aware of it. Like, it really does annoy me when people are like, don't be radical, don't be extreme, why are you so violent, why are you so, well, excuse me, I am not gonna go all the way to disguise things, to make things look prettier just for you. Why should I do this? Because it's not gonna make you go vegan, it's gonna make you feel comfortable, it's gonna give you excuses, and you're gonna be like, yeah, I kind of understand veganism because you've explained it so nicely and you're very tolerant and respectful, but it really is not for me. but I really encourage you. Well, oh wow, well done. I think it also just all this mind, I mean, thought process, it comes from different things. It comes from the fact that we want to be seen as moderate, we want to be seen as, you know, respectful and tolerant and open-minded. In fact, it's none of those. You don't want to talk a certain way, you don't want to be too loud, you don't want to be too rebellious, you don't want to be too revolted, because it's going to make you look bad. But why is it going to make you look bad? Because the group in power has decided that this would make you look bad. I don't want to play by those rules, because those people don't want to be seen as, you know, the bad vegans. And so I think unconsciously or without knowing it, unknowingly, they're just playing by the rules that have been set by the group in power. And it's just helping consolidating and just reaffirming a system that's, you know, placing some living beings on like an inferior sort of position. And another reason why they're doing it like that is because they don't want to be honest with themselves and saying that the ultimate goal should be to have the majority of the population, if not the population, vegan. Because it seems too big, too surreal, too impossible. But it's actually what we should be aiming at. And it's not a question of freedom, of individual freedom. It's not. And it's about time we understand it's not about individual freedom. Just like us really thinking and passing laws on rape, assault, sexual assault, murder, stealing, whatever. It's not about individual freedom. If everything is so subjective and if everything is so up to everyone, why should we even legalize or criminalize some things in the first place? Why should there be any justice at all? So the argument that's like, everything's subjective and it's up to people and everyone has a different situation, different condition, blah, 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 and you're not going to be able to prevent people from eating animals. Well, yes, I am not going to be able to do this, and I'm certainly not going to see it in my lifetime. But saying this is as absurd. I mean, it's just coming from speciesism, really, and from an unwillingness to accept that you'll have to change your lifestyle, your perception of yourself, and your perception of other living beings. It's just the same as some people who would have said in the past, you know, you won't be able to make every man respect women. Are you really gonna try to make every white person treat a person of color their equal? Even to this day, some people are, you know, not okay with this. They disagree with it. They don't act on it. There are some racist, some sexist people out there, but the reality is that they're illegal. What they're doing is actually, well, it depends on what they're doing and how they're doing it, unfortunately, but it's something they could be condemned for. It's something they could be sentenced for. Because we decided at some point in history to look at this issue or those issues and be like, yes, obviously there is the question of freedom, that's very important, but that's not what's at stake right now. We need to understand that's eventually going to be something we'll have to do about veganism. If you're not willing to admit it as a vegan, it's because you're afraid, and it's because I think you're still thinking too much of yourself and not enough of the animals, which I don't think is what you should be doing as a vegan, but I might be wrong. And I'm not saying that, you know, everyone should be like super activist and super militant about it. I am not. You know, I'm doing videos on YouTube, I'm speaking up about it all the time, I'm researching about it, I'm writing about it, but I'm not giving and dedicating my life to it. And perhaps I will at some point. But at least be honest and don't try to make yourself appear good within the vegan community because you're not one of those vegans. It's not helping anyone. Really, it's not. So anyway, that's what I had to say today. I'm sorry it was all over the place and kind of very long. I just wanted it to be clear. You know that I am open to discussion. You know that I do talk and hang out with people who are not vegan. You know that I'm not doing all of this because I think everyone should be like me. It's not about me, and it's fucking tiring that I have to repeat this over and over again, because people are themselves in a mindset where everything's about themselves. But trust me, there are people out there who do things not because it's about themselves, not because they want to gain something, but just because they really think there's something wrong with the way we're living. And they look at facts and consequences and data and actual evidences, and they're like, yeah, that's actually wrong. I think we should all be doing that, and I think we can all be doing that. And while doing it, we just become ourselves so much more, and we just use our potential to the maximum. And we should not be afraid of being seen in a negative light by some, because there's always going to be, no matter what it is about, racism, sexism, classism, speciesism, whatever, there's always homophobia, or anything like that. There's always going to be people who don't agree with it, who are not willing to accept that they're wrong, you know. And so you should not try to be nice, because those people might get offended. Those people, they don't care what you're actually saying. And don't waste your time on them. And don't, restrain yourself. Just fucking be, I don't know, fierce. While being respectful, but fierce, Think of the victims, or think of your cause that you want to talk about and stand for. I always think, if animals were next to me and could understand everything that's happening, how would I react? How would I behave? Would I shut up? Would I laugh at this joke? Would I be like, oh, I don't want to be this negative vegan? That's not what I would do. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it was interesting, and I'll see you later, guys. Bye!